Hey there, welcome back to 3-Day Weekend. I have another Chevy Cruze in the shop. Came in with a bad head gasket. Head gasket was warped. Sent it out, got it machined, put the head back in, and I'm low on compression. I'm getting tired of these Chevy Cruzes, I'm telling you. So, why do we have low compression? I'm gonna find out. How do I know it's low on compression? Because of the way it sounds. Also, I can do a compression test. To do that, pretty easy. You're going to pull off the coil pack. Two T30s, hold that in, get that out of the way. Pull your spark plugs out and get yourself a compression tester. Here's one. I'm going to hook that up and show you cylinder number 2, which is the worst one of them all. Alright, cylinder 2, here we go. I'm going to give it an extra little kick just to show you it's not getting any better. Oh, good news, the battery is completely dead because I left the ignition on, dang it. We're going to do a compression check, just show you on cylinder 2. I'm going to let it run a few extra cycles just to show you that it's not getting any better. It's got an electronic ignition, so it likes to keep cranking even after you let go. But yeah, 100, that's not good. We're supposed to be up in the 200 range. So yeah, that's very bad. I'm gonna do one more test. I'm gonna do the same cylinder. I'm just gonna give it a little cap full of oil in there and see if it makes any difference on this. We're gonna put some premium Polaris PS4 in here because that's what I had handy. All right, you guys watch this. Let's see what she does now. Stop. Jeez, it just gets carried away. Ah, look at that. Up to 150. I mean, it's still a little shy, but it definitely picked up a substantial amount. So that's telling me I've got a problem with the rings. So, we're going to do a complete teardown on this engine. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I already have one showing how to remove the turbocharger, replace that. I have another one showing you how to do the head. One on the water outlet, one on the water pump. But if you follow the head video, that will get you down to where you need to be, close to where you need to be. And then we got some additional work to go on the bottom. So, watch that video, get your head out of there, and then we will pick up at the bottom. Stay tuned for an awesome head removal time lapse. Head is out, car is up in the air. We got some work to do underneath. Couple things. First, I'm going to drain the oil out because we're about to drop the oil pan, don't want that. I'm going to get that loosened up and draining while I remove the exhaust. Not remove. If you've already worked on the head gasket, then chances are this bolt and that bolt are already loose or off. We're going to just take those out, and then I'm going to remove that cross member right there, and I'm hoping that's enough that the entire exhaust can swing down out of the way enough that I can get the oil pan out of here. Oil pan is not too bad to get to. We got a big bolt there and a big bolt there. If we had a manual transmission, there'd be a third bolt in here, but only 2 on the automatics. And then we've got 16 oil pan bolts we need to take out. And then 2 of them are tucked up in here, one there and one up in there, so they're kind of tricky to see them all. But that is the next step, and then we should be able to see the rods once we get the oil pan out of the way. Making progress here. See, I got the exhaust system sitting on a bucket. I did not unplug this, it unplugged itself, so hopefully I didn't break something up there. Be mindful of that, should have unplugged it first. This is just kind of resting, but yeah, it rests pretty good on that bucket. I'll probably wire it up so I can get back up top later. I got all these bolts out. I've got my insurance policy bolt still kind of halfway in there, and now I'm going to start prying, and they made a couple of marks here, you can see right there and there. Good for starting to pry that down. Not sure if this is a silicone gasket or regular gasket, but I don't know, we'll have to pry it apart. I feel like that silicone coming down through the threads, but we'll find out here in just a moment. Oh, she's loose. She is loose. There we go. You ever feel like you're about to get really messy? What's up? Okay. I think I'm about to get really messy. That wasn't so bad. You can see quite a bit with that gone. Next up though is windage tray. And from here on out, it's going to be a steady drip of oil onto you. So that's fun. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bolts holding that one on. Rod number 2, number 3. See, I got them marked. Arrows facing the front of the car. 2, 3. Marked them a few different places with a white pen I picked up at Home Depot, so that I remember to put them in exactly the right way. These bolts, they say we're going to throw them away. So I didn't mark any of those. Well, I was going to, but we're going to throw those out. I love how it continues to drip for hours. So, pull these 4 bolts out, take the caps off, rotate the engine 180 degrees, and get that one and that one. And then we're headed back up top. Those are looking pretty good. Oh, one of the piston bearings came off. I just kind of pushed 1 and 4 up a little bit by hand. But yeah, these are directional. So, see the top bearings have a little kicker right here. And that is going forward toward the front of the car. So it's going to sit like that on the top with a little kicker facing me. But now I can go up and hopefully pull the pistons up through and see what we've got going on. First thing I got to do, obviously I can't lower it with the bucket, so I'm just going to run some wire and wire the exhaust so it can't go any lower. And then we'll try to pull some pistons out. Okay, gonna have to push them up from the bottom because there's nothing I can do up top. I had a suction cup or something. Maybe. I'll go push one up. Number one is out. I can't find anything wrong with number one. So I'm going to mark it and move on to number two. Okay, number two. Not really seeing much wrong with it. As to say, not really seeing anything wrong with it. Could just be worn out rings. Yeah, this one's scrubbing pretty good. But the pistons are not broken. Well, that's going to do it for me today. We got the pistons out, all sitting over here on the bench. I don't really see anything major wrong, other than a couple they've been starting to scrape on the sides, so a little bit loose. But the bearings look okay. The rings, I don't know. Is this just going to be a new ring job? Still undecided. But I'm going to think about this, and then when you see me again, I'll be putting it back together. I'm going to release this video, and then I'm just going to wait a week and release the second part. So if you're watching this, the other part is out there, unless this one just came out within a week. I won't post one until I have the other. But that is how you do it. And we've got 4 pistons out. My block looks perfect. It's not warped or anything, so is it just worn rings? I don't know. 96,000 miles. You wouldn't think it'd have worn rings already. But geez, that compression test, that pretty much tells it all right there. Oh. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every viewer, every subscriber. I especially like those super thanks. So if this video is helping you out, you wouldn't mind hitting that super thanks. Really appreciate that. Your guys' support is what keeps this channel going. So hope to see you again right here on 3-Day Weekend.